Donald Trump couldn't help himself. He had to engage caps lock and send post after post after troth after troth on Troth Central.
Troth Central.
And he makes a mistake here. He makes a mistake. Let's go to what Trump posted. In all caps, quote, "The greatest case I've ever seen for reliance on counsel. And Judge Merchan will not, for whatever reason, let me use that as a defense in this rigged trial." Another term, advice of counsel defense. What's Trump talking about here? This is a critical mistake that Trump is making. Reliance on counsel is a legal term that basically means I was simply relying on the advice of my attorney. I imposed no opinion. I imposed none of my own will. None of this was my idea. I was given advice by my lawyer and I did what my lawyer said. And the idea of using this in legal proceedings is a defense to say, I was getting professional legal advice from a lawyer that I paid and retained. That's it. I had no reason to suspect a lawyer was going to lead me astray. I'm completely innocent of anything. And the idea is you invoke it to say, I operated in good faith. I have no liability. I acted reasonably. I was being told by a lawyer what I should do. This is a critical mistake for Trump to now be asserting. And the reason it's a mistake is we know from what was presented at trial that Trump was not acting in good faith. Trump was leading the charge. We have audio recordings where Trump is saying, hey, we've got to deal with this. I want to deal with it in cash. I want to do this. I want to do that. The things Trump wanted Cohen to do were even worse and more legally problematic than what ultimately was done. And the idea that, listen, I don't know, I did nothing. Michael Cohen showed up. He had a plan. I went along with it. Any reasonable person acting in good faith would assume it was all legal. That's not the argument they've been making in court. And a desperate and terrified Trump is now bringing out reliance on counsel. That's the defense, and they won't let me do it. Trump continuing, unhinged, quote, I didn't have a fixer. I had a lawyer who at that time was fully accredited and accepted within the legal community. But the judge is not allowing me to use the reliance on counsel defense. I may be the only person in the country not allowed to do so, and the only one who has a very unconstitutional and restrictive gag order. Not fair. Freedom. Trump continuing. Can you imagine that I, as a defendant, am not allowed to rebut or correct the many lies told during the 5-hour filibuster just put on by the Soros-backed DA's office in the Manhattan court? What a disgraceful performance of misrepresentation it was. What's Trump referring to here? Trump's referring to the fact that the prosecution gets to do their closing statement after Trump. This is the way it works in court. It's just in New York court, the closing statement first comes from the defense and then comes from the prosecution. It's not a conspiracy against Trump. And by the way, Trump could have testified in the case. Wouldn't have changed the order of closing statements, but Trump could have testified in the case and given his version of events. But he didn't, because it would have been a disaster, and he has no credible alternative version of events. Trump continuing on Truth Social, Biden witch hunt, and then another message referring to Robert De Niro showing up yesterday outside the courtroom to present an alternative perspective on Trump. Quote, I never knew how small, both mentally and physically, wacko former actor Robert De Niro was. Today, De Niro, who suffers from an incurable case of Trump derangement syndrome, commonly known in the medical community as TDS, was met outside the courthouse with a force far greater than the radical left. MAGA. Robert, whose movies, artistry, and brand have gone way down in value since he entered the political arena at the request of crooked Joe Biden, looked so pathetic and sad out there. Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio? So Trump now, of course, taking aim at Robert De Niro because De Niro has the audacity and the testicular fortitude to say anything that is not glowing about Donald Trump. So a disastrous day for wildly triggered Trump. Jury deliberation expected to start today. We've closed out our coverage of the main trial, the trial in chief, the first of potentially 4 of these criminal trials. So we will take a break. We're going to get to some other things after the break, and we will be standing by for the verdict, which could come very quickly or not. We will see. If you've been thinking about getting a new mattress, Helix Sleep is where I would start. I've been sleeping on Helix mattresses for years now. I recommend Helix to everyone, which is why I wanted them as a sponsor. If you don't want to take my word for it, Helix has been awarded #1 mattress by both GQ and Wired magazine. And one of the things that makes Helix unique is their sleep quiz. I didn't really know what kind of mattress would be best for me, but you do this short sleep quiz. You answer questions about your body type and your preferences, what position you like to sleep in, and Helix will match you with the perfect mattress for you, so you know you're actually getting something tailored to your needs instead of going in blind like most people do. I got my Helix mattress designed to stay cool at night since I hate getting hot while I sleep. Shipping is always free. You get 100 nights to decide whether you like it. Right now, for a limited time, Helix is offering up to 30% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows. It's the biggest discount they've ever offered. Go to helixsleep.com/Pacman. The link is in the description.